If you're ready to stop building someone else's dream and start creating your own, join our free community, the Self-Directed Network, at acesmanagementinc.com/school. It's where people leaving their W-2s come together to build freedom, purpose, and momentum toward what's next. Welcome to Life After W-2. I'm your host, John Chan. After 17 years in corporate America, I made the leap to build my own business. It was messier than I thought it would be, but also full of valuable lessons I didn't know I needed. This show is about sharing shifts in mindset, pivots in strategy, and personal changes that come with pursuing financial freedom. You're not alone in this. We're all figuring it out, one step at a time. Welcome to Life After W-2. Today, we sit down with Nicki Van Ingen Schenau, who shares how she went from a marketing career to building a thriving tour guide business in Japan. She talks about starting from scratch in Tokyo, the simple strategies that attracted her first clients, and how she rebuilt everything after COVID. Nicki breaks down the power of personal branding, trust, and creating a positive work culture. If you are chasing entrepreneurship in a tough environment, her story will inspire you to start now and start small. Let's get into it. Nicki, so glad to have you.
Thank you for having me on.
Tell us a little bit about your W-2 life.
I used to work in marketing and communications, and then my then boyfriend asked me if I wanted to go to Japan for 2-3 years. And I said, yeah, sure, see if you can find a job. So then he found a job, so I quit my job. And actually, I didn't really do much research on moving to Tokyo. So I thought London, Paris, Sydney, New York, Tokyo is all on the same level, right? So I came there and I barely spoke a word of Japanese. And I was applying for jobs, and everywhere I went, it was like, so you're fluent in Japanese, right? And I would be like, not exactly. So like, yeah, we'll call you. And then you never hear from them again. So then I thought, oh, okay, I'll just work for the Dutch embassy, handing out passports. I mean, you shouldn't have to know a lot of Japanese just for that, right? So I came there and they said, oh, actually, you also have to help get apartments for the Dutch staff here, and you have to read all the contracts, and you have to do the negotiations with the realtors. So yeah, you have to be fluent. It's not just the passports. I was like, oh no. So then I said, oh, okay, I'll just learn Japanese. I mean, I'll study it for a year, and then I'll be fluent, and then I'll be able to get a job. And then 2 years in, I still wasn't fluent in Japanese. So a friend of mine, I was just complaining to her, like, oh, I hate it here. I don't have my own um, bank account. I don't have my own money. I just have to ask my husband for money just to buy groceries. I'm not fluent in Japanese. Life sucks here. So she said, why don't you start your own business then? I was like, start my own business as what? And she said, oh, just as a tour guide. I think you would be really good at it. And I was like, my background is in marketing. I know nothing about tourism. I don't know nothing about Japanese history. And the only thing I know of Japanese culture is what I lived through. And she said, well, I think that would make it even more interesting, and you should just give it a try. So basically, to prove her wrong, I created a rudimentary website and an email address, and just so I could rub it in her face and see, it's not working. But actually, after 1 week, I already received my first email from clients that were like, yeah, we noticed that you offer guided tours and we'd love to do a tour with you. So I literally fell from my chair like, what? These people want to pay me money so I can show them around? So I had literally not prepared anything except just like a really simple website. So I had 1 week to prepare everything. And in the beginning, I didn't know all that much. So people would ask me questions like, oh, what about this thing right here? And I would just make something up. And then they would be like, "Hey, I think there's a sign over there. Let's go over there and check out the sign." So I would be like, no, come on, come with me. Look over there. Something interesting. So yeah, in the beginning, I held my prices really low because I felt that my clients shouldn't suffer from the fact that I felt I didn't know all that much. And then slowly I started learning more and more, and I became more confident. And that's also when I slowly started to increase my price. And after 3 months, there was this girl, and she emailed me, and she was like, um, I see you offer guided tours. Would you consider hiring me? And then I was like, I never thought about it, but you working and me getting paid, that sounds like a great deal. So why not? Why don't you come and work for me? So
So
she was my first hire.
so you just kind of fell into this.
Yeah, exactly.
What kind of website did you put together?
Oh, it was one of those free websites or something, free WordPress template or something.
Did you I'm assuming you used your marketing background to make it effective. Did you have a certain target audience or you just kind of put slap something together?
I kind of slapped something together, and coincidentally it worked, and straight the first year I got quite a few clients out of that. So I was quite lucky in that regard.
Well, can you describe this website? I mean, in 1 week you already got your first client.
Yeah,
Did,
exactly.
did you have an about page about your background? Who were these types of clients that were reaching out to you?
Well, in the beginning, it was mostly flight attendants. So I was lucky enough that one flight attendant happened to stumble upon my website. And then she wrote a review for other flight attendants. And then the first year, my clients were mainly flight attendants, and they mostly came to me through this recommendation on the flight attendant forum. And then I just looked into like what else can I do? So I started my social media pages. I started some Facebook groups. I started my Google business page and started asking for recommendations on my TripAdvisor page and my Google business page. And that's actually how things really started to grow. And then I contacted travel agents as well. And I told them like, oh, I've been doing this for the past year. I have one employee who's also doing tours, and we would love to work with you and would like for you to sell our tours for us actually. And yeah, they were quite interested because there was no one really offering guided tours in Dutch. So straight away I had some travel agents who were interested and wanted to work with me. Yeah, that's kind of how it started snowballing. And now I work with 15 travel agents, and I have 75 people working for me. And we won 3 awards this past year: the World Luxury Travel World Award, the APEC Business Insider Award, and the Travel and Hospitality Award.
So you started off targeting people who spoke Dutch. Is that right?
Yes, mostly because that's basically our strength, because there's no one else offering guided tours in Dutch.
Mhm.
So we mostly work with Dutch travel agents. There's one German travel agent, one from the UK, and one from India, but the rest of them are all Dutch.
So that's like your niche, people from the Netherlands coming to visit Japan and want a tour.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, our website has grown quite a bit, and also our Google business page. So the Google business page also attracts a lot of traffic as well, because we have 700 5-star reviews, and we have a perfect 5.0 score, which is quite exceptional in the business as well.
Yeah, but I like because when I first got started in business, I was targeting a wide variety of individuals,
Mhm.
but you started off, well, kind of as a joke, right?
Yes.
Just targeting one type of individual, and because of that, it's grown to 75 employees. I mean, how long ago did you start this?
2013, but I had to restart because of COVID.
Right.
So, 2020, I went bankrupt, and then I decided to go back to Amsterdam because it would be easier to find a job there than in Japan, and also under better conditions. So I had to start working for a boss again. And then 2022 rolled around, and I already heard through the grapevine that the border with Japan was most likely going to open up again soon. So in October, the border opened up, and before that, I called all of my guys like, "Oh, are you still in Japan? Would you still be interested in working for me?" Except for two, all of them still wanted to work for me. And then 2 months later, I gave my boss my resignation and said I want to start working only on my own business from here on forward. So here's my resignation and thank you for the opportunity for working for you.
Wow. So okay, so that just like opens it
Mhm.
up a lot more because once everything shut down, your business pretty much could not survive. And so you
Exactly.
essentially had to start all over. So when you went back to the workforce, was it still in a marketing position or what were you doing?
Yes, I was doing marketing, but I noticed that as an entrepreneur, I have very strong opinions on what works and how to achieve certain goals. And I noticed that when other people, especially other business owners who don't have that marketing background, started to interfere with my strategy and started to say, "Oh, but no, I think you should do this or I think you should do that," that really bothered me quite a bit, especially because my strategy was actually getting results. So I was quite annoyed that other people would try and interfere and say, "No, you should do this," or "No, you should do that." Like, I'm showing you it's working. So what more do you want? So I was really happy when I could go back to working for myself and just be my own boss again, because I guess I'm not a real team player.
Well, I mean, it seems to have worked. You got 700 reviews with a 5-star rating. I mean, that's extremely challenging. So it's not like that kind of happened on accident. But then I kind of want to go back to your first year too, because you just started off with a website. It didn't sound like you put that much effort into it. So
Yeah.
throughout that first year, did you go and update it and put some serious work into it to improve it?
So after 6 months, I asked someone to create a professional website, but I wasn't that happy with the template and the color scheme and what the website offered. So I've revamped the website in total 4 times since starting. After 6 months, I also had someone create our brand and create our logo and all of that. And actually, during COVID, when everyone said, "Oh, you should divest, you should stop pouring time and energy in your company," that's actually when I started investing more and I started investing in revamping the website again and make it, yeah, much more suitable to our needs and make it in such a way that people can book straight away from our website. So it wasn't just informal, like, okay, these are some of our tours and here's the email address and email us when you want to book a tour. So, yeah, then that was a really good decision. And also, I started pouring more time and effort into social media to create a larger following. So now on Instagram, I have around 61,000 followers. And on Facebook, I have around 35,000 followers. So, yeah, those things really helped me to uh, make a name for myself.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. Marketing is not my background. Like an, ac- I have a background in accounting and consulting, accounting automation. So now with running my own business, marketing is something that I'm having to learn and figure out. Like, what's one of the biggest mistakes that you see people do with their own marketing?
Feel as a small business owner, you yourself are basically your brand. So no one knows Tokyo tours. So how can I get people to trust in Tokyo tours? So instead, I am very much at the front of my business. I put a lot of time and effort into social media and I'm in a lot of my social media content as well so people can get to know the person behind the brand because they don't give faith in the brand, they give faith in the person behind the brand. So I feel your own personal branding is very important and to make people understand what are your values, what do you hold dear, and also always get a review. So whenever my guys have done a tour, I always ask them, did you get a review? Can you get a review? Because you're only as good as your last work. So, yeah, it's important to get those reviews in.
Gotcha. Okay. I've heard that reviews are important. And being in the real estate world where some friends are in short-term rentals, like Airbnbs, they're
Mhm.
always asking for 5-star reviews. They're always like, what can we do to get a 5-star review? So it's very interesting. And then, so when you do the videos of yourself, are you still in Amsterdam or did you go back to Tokyo?
It's a bit complicated right now. So I had to be here for an event because I had to receive the World Luxury Travel Award in Barcelona. So I figured, oh, why not stick around for a bit and enjoy the Barcelona sunshine as opposed to the cold and rain in Amsterdam. So I'm staying here in Barcelona until the 24th of December. And then I'm going to enjoy my Christmas in Colombia and enjoy the nice warm winter there. And then in March, I'm flying to Tokyo and spend a few months in Tokyo.
Got it. So it seems like you kind of nomadic then. You just spend time wherever you want to spend time.
Yeah, this year, yeah, I put my house up for sale and I decided, well, I don't necessarily have a very strong connection to Amsterdam except for my house. So why not use this year to travel a bit and yeah, have a different kind of life.
Yeah, very okay, very interesting. So typically I ask about what that first 6 months was like after leaving your job, but you were busy studying Japanese. I mean, were you doing anything in addition to that? Or because it didn't seem like business was in your mind at all.
No, not at all, because I saw so many obstacles. I was like, yeah, if I want to open a business in Japan, it's going to be impossible. Like, how am I even going to manage that? And how I'm going to get registration and with taxes and all of that. And I only saw headaches and like, well, I don't want to look into that even. And I still had a firm belief, like, oh, if I just put 6 more months into Japanese, it's gonna be better. Just 6 more months. But yeah, after 2 years, I had to admit that it would probably take a while for me to get to the level where I'm able to have that business level of Japanese. And also, by that time, I was like, if I work for a Japanese company, I get 9 days off a year, and I work Monday to Saturday. Actually, I'm not so sure if that's still something I am wanting to achieve. So maybe that's not for me. So yeah, the first 6 months I did a lot of volunteer work. There's a foundation in Tokyo that is specifically for Dutch people living in Japan. So they had their own magazine. So I took over the magazine. I took over all of the interviews and doing the layout and everything. So I put all my effort in that, setting up all the events and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. Somehow it just wasn't gratifying. I guess maybe it's because I didn't get paid for it. It was more like
Yeah.
something to do. And yeah, I must admit that it does give me a kick at the end of the month when I send out my invoices and I can get all the money from all the tours that we've done. And like, yeah, that's something I have achieved. And there's 75 people that are now dependent on me for their daily expenses and to keep the lights on. So yeah, that's really gratifying. I feel much more than working for someone else. Then you're basically always working on someone else's dream, and now I'm working on my own dream.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing story going from yourself as starting off as kind of like out of spite almost
Yes.
to now having 75 people doing tours that I just didn't know. I just had no idea that that could blow up like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess I was there at the right time, at the right spots. And the only thing that I regret now a little bit is my dreams weren't big enough. So I saw myself as a lone tour guide in Tokyo, doing tours by myself from here until eternity. So that's why I called the business or named it Tokyo Tours, because I couldn't even fathom anything bigger than that. But then when this girl emailed me and said, "Can I work for you?" I was like, "Yeah, that sounds really good." And then with the travel agents, they were like, "Yeah, it's nice that you offer tours in Tokyo, but what about Kyoto? What about Osaka? What about Hiroshima? What about Nagasaki? What about Takayama. So that was kind of like a natural progression because I really, really love a challenge. So if every day is the same, that gets very boring for me. So when they said, yeah, but what about Osaka? Can't you find Dutch people in Osaka? I was like, I can try. And then, yeah, it just started growing and growing. And then in 2018, I was considering moving back to Amsterdam. So I asked one of my guides, would you consider buying the business from me? And she said, no, that sounds like a rubbish idea. I don't want to do that at all. But I would like to become your partner. And then again, I was like, okay, I never considered the partnership, but what do you have in mind? And basically, she took over all of the like day to day things like planning and emailing the clients, emailing the guides, emailing the travel agencies. So she likes everything very structured. Everything needs to be the same. All the tours need to be the same. Nothing, no weird stuff, no special requests. So if we have clients that want something out of the ordinary, then she immediately passes it to me like, you deal with this. And that's what I love. That's what gives me energy. And
Mm.
doing the same thing over and over again, that doesn't make me happy. So I'm very glad that we have this collaboration where she does all the things I hate and vice versa.
I mean, it's just such an interesting story because everyone that I know, or I'll just use myself example. I always knew that I wanted to run my own business. I always wanted to work for myself, but you just like fell into it and just fell into. I mean, you put in a lot of work, and I'm sure you deserve. I know you deserve a ton of credit for what you've built because it's not something that happens on accident. But it seems like just based on your story, everything along the way just kind of fell into your lap, and then you
Yes.
figured out how a way to make it work.
Yeah, exactly. Because I love puzzles. I love figuring out puzzles. So if something's not working, then I'm just tinkering with it until it is working because I don't accept no as an answer. So I love challenges. If it's not going right, then that's when I'm at my happiest because that means I can make something work. I can figure something out. I can make something better than it was before. And that's what I thrive on.
When you first thought about it, there were a lot of roadblocks and a lot of, I guess, challenges that you did not feel like solving.
Yes.
I mean, I guess what changed and how did you do it?
Well, at one point I decided, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So, to be honest, when I did the first 5 tours, maybe I wasn't officially registered as a tour guide. I didn't officially register my business. And then after 5 tours, and when the request kept coming, I was like, I need to do something with this. I cannot continue going on like this. So that's when I just did a deep dive and I went to the local government and I went to the Chamber of Commerce and I asked them, is there any way you can help me? What kind of advice will you give me? I asked an accountant, like, what kind of business setup suits me best? And also, my husband was, of course, working. So I needed to register the business in such a way that it wouldn't impede with his tax returns. And at first he was also like, you and your little hobby. And but yeah, it did grow out to be a very successful company with a lot of people working there. And I've even hired a social media manager so I don't have to do that myself anymore and have my hands free to work on other stuff.
Yeah, I'm a bit jealous. Like you have all this stuff going for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, like, what's one of the biggest mindset issues you've had to come to get over to start the business?
Well, don't listen to what other people say because I feel there's always people that are kind of jealous of what you do and they come up with only reasons why you shouldn't do something or why you can't do something or what the implications are if you do something. And just don't listen to them. Just do your own thing. And of course, you're going to make mistakes, but that's part of the process. Just learn from your mistakes, get over yourself, and try to do better next time. And just keep on going. As long as you are have a dogged determination that I am going to do this, yes or yes. And also, talk to the people around you. Whenever I hire new people, one of the first questions is always, what would you do if you were me?
Mm.
Tell me there's no wrong answer. What do you think I'm doing wrong? What do you think I can do better? What would you do differently? And do you have any ideas like for new tours or things, new ways of doing things, new travel agents we can work with, new markets that we can try, new marketing strategies, anything. Just give it to me. And another thing that I find very important is I've worked for so many shoddy bosses. So I vowed that if I'm going to be a boss, I'm going to be the best boss there is. And I'm going to be the type of boss that people want to work for. So I give my employees above market level income. And we've also created a whole community around our staff. So we organize a lot of events, we give them a lot of training in the low season. We have a lot of mixers, we have end of year party. So yeah, I always encourage people to leave me. I'm like, if you think you can find something better or you want to develop yourself in another way, then who am I to stand in your way? Because this is about you, it's not about me. My company will survive without you, but it's up to you how you see the rest of your career in front of you. And if you want to continue to be a part of my business, then I encourage you and I love you for it. But the only way your company is really thriving is when your employees are happy and they're enjoying themselves and they love the work and they share your passion and they want to just for themselves to bring the company at a higher level rather than just because you tell them to.
Yeah, it's so true. I guess what's a book recommendation that you have?
Oh yeah, I have my book right here. It's called The Puppet Master's Diary, and it's about subtle techniques how you can influence or manipulate people. Because the reason for that is basically as a tour guide, you are just talking to people all day long. And contrary to popular belief, many people are not interested in 1863 and this happened. No, they just want to be entertained. So they want to feel like you're their friend and you're showing them the best sides of Japan. So it's basically all about building rapport and getting people to like you. So yeah, you can use all the help you can get out there. So yeah, if I can learn something how to play people, not in a negative way, but in a positive way, then yeah, I always look into those kinds of books.
Too.
Yes.
So, what's one piece of advice you'd give to your younger self when you were, I guess, slapping together that website?
Well, there's never a better time than now. You don't have to have all the answers together. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to wait for the perfect timing until you have all the money you need to get started. Just get going. Just start small and
Mm.
then day by day, step by step, figure things out along the way. Ask a lot of questions. There's no such thing as stupid questions. And keep going. That's the most important thing. Don't let anything or anyone put your head down. If it's not working today, then try something new tomorrow and try again something else the day after until you figure it out.
That's amazing advice. Just keep at it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just keep going. Just stay positive, and mistakes are there to learn. So, a mistake is a good thing because it will give you instant feedback and you can have something to figure out. If you don't make mistakes, you can never become better because you just get stuck in this same loop and nothing ever changes.
That is so true. Well, Nikki, it's been so great to have you. How can you help people and how can they reach out to you?
Well, please go to one of two of my businesses because other than Tokyo Tours, I've also started Elite Travel Experiences. So you can go to www.tokyotours.nl and Tokyo spelled the Dutch way, so Tokio, not with the Y,
Mhm.
and tours. And my other website is Elite Travel and then XP. So XP stands for experience.com. You can find me on all social media channels under Tokyo Tours. You can follow my own account on Instagram. That's Nicki, Nicki _Amsterdam. And you can find me everywhere under Elite Travel XP.
Okay, perfect. We'll have all the links in the description just to make life easier for everyone. Nikki, again, thank you so much for sharing your interesting story.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
That's it for today's episode of Life After W2. I'm John Chan, and I appreciate you tuning in. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who's ready to take control of their financial future. And if you're curious about how self-directed retirement accounts can unlock opportunities in alternative investing, grab our free guide. It's packed with insights to help you get started. The link's in the description. See you next time.